welcome to another episode of Out Zoo. Today I have Geoff Mair coming into the zoo all the way from Vancouver. Welcome, Geoff.
Thanks, Alf. How's it going today?
It's great, beautiful day here. So you are the CTO of Partnerpedia, a company that BMC Software recently acquired because of your fantastic enterprise app store application. Before you ended up in BMC, what was the first few years like running a startup like that?
I started it pretty early on. I started it actually very early in my career in 1996. I was only like a year out of university. And we started it as a custom app development shop. Basically we'd sell, whatever anyone came up with and wanted to do, we'd sell it and then we'd go build it. We did that for a bunch of years. And it was a great business because it didn't take a lot of capital. It just took a lot of sweat to get it going, and once it was going, it kind of fulfilled its its own financial needs. And then about 5 years ago, we set out to develop products. That was the real, there was some investors, some angel investors, and some board members who really wanted us to create more value in the company. And the best way to do that was through products. And so we developed a few different things. The first one was actually a partner-to-partner networking community. That's where the name Partnerpedia came from.
Oh, okay.
Which is it was very innovative. It was very interesting. I'd say it was a little bit ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But it got us into customer conversations and gave us a better understanding of the market, which helped us sort of formulate our plans around marketplace. And marketplace, go ahead, Alf.
No, I was gonna say, so right now you're offering an enterprise app store solution that was that always the goal, or how did you end up with that?
Well, the goal of the first product, we kind of looked at what was going on with Salesforce App Exchange and the iTunes App Store, and the success of large technology companies who built a strong ecosystem of ISV products around their product.
Yep.
And we said we kind of just came up with the hypothesis that everybody's going to want to do that. So we went out and started talking to customers about it and building a marketplace product. And we got some really excellent customers on that early on. And then, as we were working with them on marketplace, the feedback we were getting was, this is great, excellent product, but our customers want to have the same level of control that we have through marketplace in their own companies. And so we saw this kind of emerging need for IT departments to have their own sort of catalog and provide that same sort of curation process of applications for their employees, and give them the ability to manage those applications out on devices. And that's where AppZone came from.
So you started with a marketplace that was externally facing, where vendors and partners and so on can put apps to sell or to make available to the public, and then that led to the discussion of building an internal enterprise app store in traditional. Okay, I get you. Okay.
Yeah, and so when you hook the two things together, an IT department can buy apps from a marketplace and then manage those applications, out on their within their organizations across their employees, and also add their own, custom developed apps in. Applications from other commercial marketplaces. It doesn't really matter where the app comes from. They can put it in there and distribute it to their employees. So.
And how have you seen the app stores evolve? It started out, the first iTunes enterprise app store, first time I saw it was the most disappointing moment in my life, pretty much. It's a white HTML page where you can download from clicking on a link, It's not at all what it hoped that iTunes would translate it to in the enterprise world. Today, for example, Partnerpedia's solution, what's now called BMC App Store, is dramatically different. It feels very much like iTunes. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at how commercial marketplaces have evolved and who's doing it well in the commercial space, I think the iTunes App Store obviously very very successful. Salesforce App Exchange has been very very successful. On the more sort of enterprise side, SAP EcoHub has done well, and those types of systems are setting the bar for the commercial ones, and then that same sort of that's driving innovation on the internal side, and companies who are providing those types of app stores internally, the MDM vendors and the MAM vendors, are really pushing each other as well to provide a better user experience, a user experience that's kind of like it is on the commercial app stores for the IT departments. I mean, in the internal ones, there's different paths of innovation that are going on. The MDM mobile device management companies are really focused on the application control, the security, the locking down of the device, whereas companies in the MAM space are really innovating more around the catalog of applications, how employees interact with that catalog, how employees interact with each other. It's more about the user experience side. I would say where we are really innovating the most is in two areas. I'd say we're really ahead of the pack on the user experience side. We've worked very hard to make it as good or better as a very high-end sort of commercial app store experience, regardless of the device that you're on. And I'd say the other area that we're really doing a lot of innovation on is making it not just about mobile applications. I'd say that's where most of the companies in this area are focused, is on mobile application management. We are broadening that out significantly to include desktop applications, to include SaaS applications, and the same sort of app experience regardless of app type and regardless of what type of device you're looking at it on.
So with apps on you, it's not only for mobile enterprises. You can also use it with desktop apps you build internal, like custom apps. You can get SaaS services. You get the whole shebang in one single store.
Absolutely, yeah. That's where we are going with the technology. It's very much about providing that same app experience regardless of the application type, and making it just as easy to get access to a SaaS application that requires credentials, to get access to a desktop application that you need to download and have the rights to install on your desktop, making all those processes as smooth and easy as it is when you go out and get it on a mobile app store, on a commercial mobile app store. I mean, that's really what's driving it. It's if you look at how easy it is to get apps from commercial app stores, it's like dead simple, right? It's designed to be like so easy that it's kind of it's addictive. Like you want to do it, and it's not the same way in a typical enterprise organization today.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and it's not very fun either. Like and I know that sounds kind of silly, like that it's important for IT to provide an experience that is fun. But when companies are making these like very large investments into mobile application development, building web-based enterprise applications, buying licenses of applications, the adoption of those apps is where you get the ROI. If companies make all those investments and do a great job with those investments, but nobody uses them because they can't find them, or because it's not an engaging process to get them installed, it's not easy, it's not fun, then there's a whole bunch of wasted investment there. And so
and if you look at, the consumerization of IT, the underlying force there is that we realize there's a psychological aspect that is extremely important, and that is to sum it up, that to make it fun. Because if it's not fun in today's very remote and transient workforce, there are other companies that can offer a more fun experience. And if you don't embrace that, then you're missing on it. Forget about the ROI and that people won't use your tool that you invested in. Your guys just won't be as good as the competition, right?
Absolutely. I mean, and I think that's why I say part of what's driving that market is the commercial app store companies who invest a ton into that. They spend just a ton of time making every sort of step in that find, try, download, install process super easy and engaging, because every time they make it easier, and more engaging, they're making more money on their stores. And the same theory, the same approach is very applicable with IT. If you're going to invest in applications, which every company does, whether you're buying licenses or developing them internally, you got to get your users to use them. And if the process of finding those applications and getting them isn't good, then that investment's wasted. And it's the same theory applies whether it's a commercial app store or an internal app store. So,
mobile device management. In a few sentences, make it simple for me because I'm not a very clever guy. What's the difference between MDM and App Store? Do they go hand in hand? If I'm trying to build a mobile enterprise, do I need both? What's happening here?
Yeah, I mean, MDM is very much about the device lockdown, the device security. In some cases, they're taking sort of a containerization approach where all of the data is kind of locked in a container. So it's very device centric. It's very it's just very device centric, and it's kind of the plumbing part of it. A lot of the MDM vendors have an app store, but it's typically about application lockdown and control and doing things like blacklisting and things that really sort of lock down that application experience. The App Store and MAM players are much more about the IT department being the sort of curator and promoter of applications and giving the employees in an organization that experience to find applications and get using them. So the approaches are different, and almost all of our customers that we're working with, or many of them, have an MDM solution in place as well. So they're not competitive products. MAM is an extension of MDM. It's for companies that want to provide their employees better access to applications. And I would say, especially with our offering, we have gone far beyond MAM into what we call a universal app store. And what we found is that our customers, it's funny that mobile, it tends to be sort of I like to call it's like the pointy end of the stick. It's the problem that's making them think about app stores. But what we're actually hearing when we're with our customers is that it's not what's driving their need for a universal app store. It's what's sort of causing them to think about it, or think about it in an app store perspective. But in a lot of cases, they're trying to just figure out how to get users better access to desktop applications, how to reduce the number of app stores that they have. In some cases, we've heard a company who's got 7 different app stores, get down to 1. And all of those app stores are managed by different people, different processes. Nobody really knows where to go for what. We're reducing it down to a single app store to make it really simple. So
it's funny when some customers I talk to say, "Oh, we let our customers go on iTunes and get their own apps," which sounds insane considering you miss out on bulk discounts. You have no management. You don't really know what they're downloading. If someone downloads the latest version, that might jive with the rest of the system. So to bring that in-house, considering that we're talking about IT, very control maniacs here who want to have at least some way of managing it. It's shocking that not more is happening. Tell me this: how do you see the app stores evolve over the next 3 to 5 years or 3 to 5 months?
Yeah, I mean, I think where we're going, what we think is really important is adding sort of greater ability to manage SaaS applications and have that sort of integrated experience of credentials and how a user authenticates into a SaaS application happen the same way, regardless of whether that application is on a third-party app provider or whether it's an internal system. So I think the market and where we're headed will be very much about giving parity to mobile applications and SaaS applications and cloud-based applications. I think with our technology sort of paired with BMC's technology, we're going to evolve a lot on the desktop application management and license management, which we have really well, mature technology for license management on mobile. BMC has great sort of license management and desktop management within their ecosystem or our ecosystem of technology. So sort of leveraging that to give parity for mobile, SaaS, and desktop is a lot of what we'll be developing on our AppZone product in the next 6 to 12 months. With our marketplace technology, which we're also going to market with BMC on, I see the real sort of technology development there being on cloud provisioning and how you can purchase an application out of marketplace. Like today, when our marketplace technology is paired with AppZone, you can purchase, distribute, and install all in one sort of seamless end-to-end process from marketplace to AppZone. So it goes right from the ISV developing the application to the end user getting it on the device, and it all is orchestrated through marketplace and AppZone. And so with cloud applications in marketplace, we want to do the same sort of end-to-end experience so that you can push a cloud blueprint or a virtual appliance into our system and publish it as a commercial application, and then have that application provisioned out to a service provider's cloud infrastructure, like a Terramark or a Savis or a Amazon Web Services, one of that sort of end-to-end orchestration. So those are some of the things that we're working on, and we think will be really important in the market.
Sounds very exciting. You're sitting in beautiful Vancouver, and I'll be remiss if I don't ask you, will the Canucks make it to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Absolutely, no doubt about it in my mind.
That's what they say every year.
It's like a law here.
I know.
If I said anything else, I'd never hear the end of it.
Good. It was great having you here, Geoff. I really appreciate you taking the time and stop by the zoo.
Excellent. Thanks, Alf.
Thank you. For the rest of you, take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.